Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. I'm just going to put you on to Sky News. It's interesting how this is the story of the Ukrainian, or it's Russian actually, journalist who staged his own death, and I don't know whether the Ukrainian government were involved as well. It's interesting how when they're reporting on it, they report on it as if like, oh, this is amazing. How could this possibly happen? Are they really that what's the word I'm trying to think of that's polite? I don't know, it doesn't seem, that fantastical to me that it's possible to do that. But what it does show now that everyone else knows that it's been broadcast is that these things can happen. It is possible to pull the wool over everyone's eyes, that governments are able to fake things, and this is what, maybe this is why they're pretending that it's so fantastical, because they don't want people to think that it could be happening in lots of different ways. But it just is it's a big bit of truth that's come out, I think, and it may open the door to other things and other ways of looking at things, that people now may be more discerning and more critical when they look at things and think, well, wait a minute, how do we know that this terror event was true? How do we know these people were real that died? How do we know these pictures we're seeing are truthful, are accurate? How do we know this government isn't lying to us? Now, just because it's the Ukraine, well, that doesn't mean anything, yeah? Or you think, oh, yeah, the Ukrainians, they would do it, but the British or the Americans wouldn't do it. Come on, which country has killed more people? Which people has killed more world leaders around the world and influenced things? Anyway, this is the Sky News thing, so you can hear about the news story. Go to work.
Yeah, we love Tanya. Tanya Breyer is here with us, the broadcaster, and Andrew Daw, the Swedish. So we're going to take a look through today's papers now. And this is an incredible story that unfolded yesterday. I must admit, Tanya, when I was watching Sky News, I thought I'd sat on the remote and turned over to Sky Cinema.
I know. Me too.
The Russian journalist back from the dead.
I know. Babchenko. Yes, Babchenko.
Okay, Babchenko.
Yes, I mean, it's extraordinary. You couldn't make it up. I agree with you. I thought I was watching a sort of James Bond film or something. I mean, extraordinary. So he's a war correspondent, Russian journalist, who faked his own murder. So much so that his poor wife and family thought that he had been murdered, and they faked a shooting. 3 times he was shot, pool of blood.
Yeah, photos were released of his apparent dead body.
So dramatic.
Which his wife had to see, his wife and family.
Yep.
Oh, just
they
awful.
Didn't know.
They had no idea.
His colleagues didn't know.
Nobody knew. And then suddenly he comes out at the press conference. There he is there. He's rubbing his eyes and saying, actually, I'm not dead. So the big question is, why? Why do this? Because apparently he'd been told of an attempt that was going to happen on his life, and so he had to disappear, but he's only disappeared for a couple of days. So my worry is that he's come out to say, actually, I'm alive, so what happens if they try again?
Well, that is the point, isn't it, Andrew? One plot has been foiled, but you would think the people behind it may hatch another one, and because they've shown their hand and said, we fake deaths to put you off the scent,
it doesn't
wonder why go so public with
it doesn't make any sense at all. It looks as though he's colluded with the Ukrainian government to make this happen. But what's shocking about all of this as well is that this is a massive PR gift to Putin. He's going to love this because, of course, this proves his theory about fake news. And we've got Salisbury, which, I mean, the Russians are blaming the UK for the Salisbury poisoning. Only this week we've had the Australian government has said that Russia has been responsible for the Malaysian Airways shooting. And he's just going to say, well, all of this is fake. All of it, none of it's real, because look at what happened here.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story, and it's in all of the papers today. It's well worth the read.
And I think more will be revealed over the next few days.
Yes, of course.
More will come out.
Andrew, take me to the Sun.
So I think that's really interesting, that because obviously they mentioned there about the Salisbury event and how Putin had already used the word fake news, and obviously that he's echoing Donald Trump, who was obviously one of the main people that's been putting this fake news story about things being fake. So now I think when you've got to, anyone who's really wants to know the truth has to sort of see this event and think, well, wait a minute, he's a journalist, why would they go to so much trouble? You know, it's not a normal thing to do. Was this really an exercise, or was this a way of, you know, showing that you can be fooled? We can make you see something, and you think you know the truth, but you do not. And now you need to look back on everything that you've seen and say to yourself, well, did these things really happen or not? Are the things you're seeing truthful? Is it possible that you were lied to? Because you only know about this lie because he came out. If he never came out, you would have thought this journalist was dead. And like I say, you know, this isn't just one country that's doing this. If Ukraine's doing it, you don't think UK, US are doing these types of things as well. Anyway, take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.